This is a tale of three nuts. Okay, first here's the original factory nut. It's called Tektoid. And the way that it's cut, is it in focus? The angle is greater than the headstock angle. So what happens is the string only rests on this very front edge, and then it rides above it on the back side. It misses the full support that it might need, and it causes a problem in tuning. And the reason it causes a problem with tuning is that when the string goes through the nut, not only does it go downward towards the tuning peg, but it takes a right turn. These two middle strings mostly takes a right turn, and the D string takes a left turn, and it gets all bound up no matter how wide I cut the slot, how much support it has over the width of the slot of the nut. So even though I replaced it, and typically in most cases replacing Tektoid with a TUSQ XL does the trick, this whammy bar is a little extreme in the way that it bends the strings. It's very powerful. So I'm going to try this Zero Glide nut because I did it on the Flying V, and I'm very happy with how it's staying in tune. It allows the string to rest on a fret down in that right there, and the string will only touch the fret on the bottom. It will not touch the bottom of the nut. The nut will just be there to guide the string as it goes, as I bend the strings, and they won't stay sharp after I bend a note up, and hopefully they won't stay flat after I bend the note down. So I've already placed the factory one with this one, so it shouldn't be in there. It shouldn't be that hard to remove this. It should just take a few minutes. Okay, loosened the strings, then I went around the nut slot, the bottom, and scored the edge. I scored the front edge there and the side, and right here there's a little bit of lacquer built up around there that when I knock it out, this is a 12-inch radius block, sanding block, and a little fretting hammer. Give it a little tap, because I only used like 2 or 3 drops of super glue to hold that in. And oh, there's a little shim in there. I must have thought that this Graphtec nut would be the end to all my problems, but little did I know. Anyways, I put that sucker in there pretty good. Must have super glued the crap out of it, but I scored it, and I actually had to overspray this neck. So there's oh, there it is. That was a piece of thick maple veneer that I just sanded it to size. All right, cool. All right, so I use this little vise to hold the guitar on its end sometimes. It's pretty handy. I think this SG is almost becoming like a Franken SG. You know, like this could be Al Franken's SG, like a Franken Strat, but it's a Franken SG. You get that whammy bar to stay in tune if it's the last thing I do. And this is, so I set up the bench with some sandpaper. Got 120 grit and 220. So I just start sanding down. So I'm going to measure the thickness. 0.229 inches. We'll just call it 0.23. All right, and the gap here. Ooh, I got a long way to go. So I think what I'll do is I'll go out to the belt sander. I'll take the camera with me. I'll belt sand that guy down to about 20, and then I'll do the rest on the bench. And a smarter way to measure is to measure the old nut. Measure that thickness there. 0.187 on the TUSQ XL, and on the Tektoid from the factory, 0.1875 or 0.189 on the other end, and 0.18. All right, I don't want to breathe too much of that stuff. When I had it on the grinder, it's actually an attachment that goes on your bench grinder. It's a belt sander and a disc sander. Now, Craftsman been making these things for close to 100 years probably, but this is an aftermarket attachment, and the stuff, it's real high speed power tool, and this material is so hard. I don't know exactly what they make this stuff out of, but it smells like human hair burning when you have it on that grinder. You get a lot of material, removing a lot of material real quick, and it creates a lot of heat. And yeah, the smell of human hair burning is just something that you don't get to smell too often, but it's pretty sinister smelling too. For the fret rest, this should be level with the top of the fretboard. This bottom slot is the bottom of the fret tang, and this top is should be level with the top of this. So measure the 0.71 millimeters. I switched over to millimeters because they're just better. 0.68. Okay, we'll just say 0.7. Now this also has a depth gauge on it, which, man, for 35 bucks at Lowe's, you can't go wrong with one of these calipers. Okay, 6.48 is where I need to be. I'm not that far off from having the right, the right height. Don't have that far to go, so I should be able to take this down 6.5 millimeters in just a few seconds here. Another trick to a good nut job is having a small chisel like this, so you can get in and clean out the corner. See all that stuff coming up? There's a lot of stuff down in the corners there that it's basically the super glue from the, oh yeah, there's a bunch of goo. So got to get that cleaned out so that the nut seats properly. And you can get one of these small chisels. It's a micro chisel. Very cool. Very useful when you're doing nut work. Very handy. I like this one. Okay, I got it roughed in, and it's already standing nice. So I can tell already it's performing better than the old ones. It's got real rough, sharp edges. It's got a lot of excess fret overhang I need to cut. This real sharp 90-degree angle has to go. That'll be all rounded. And there's a lot of excess nut. Might take it back out to the belt sander. I'll cut all this off. So I'll probably take a pencil and kind of mark. right back up where it's supposed to go. Oh, it's not going out of tune at all. So far, so good. I got the the nut cut to size and beveled on the edges and smoothed over and glued in with super glue. I used the blue medium-sized fret, cut it and beveled it. Brand new strings. We'll see how it stays in tune here. So I have no problem with the Tektoid and Graph Tech nuts on non-tremolo guitars, and even on my Fender, the TUSQ XL, the Graph Tech product, works great. Stays in tune fine. Has little string retainers to it. But for these Gibsons, I've just found this Zero Glide's the best thing yet. On the ones where they have tremolo systems. The other nuts work great for like light tremolo use, a Bigsby perhaps. But this is a real aggressive one. Brand new strings on this, so see it stayed in tune. Seems pretty good. Thanks for watching.